Hello, I'm Carly. In this video, we will explore the detailed procedure for configuring EB80 analog signal modules in ETHERCAT using Sysmax Studio. I will guide you step by step through the process in a simple and clear manner. Stay with me to find out everything you need to know about this topic. The analog signal modules include a 4-input analog module, a 4-output analog module, and a 4-input temperature module. We will explain how to parameterize an analog channel for each type of module. In the Analog Inputs Parameterization section, after initializing the various objects for SDO communication, the various objects related to the parameters of a single analog input are initialized. The signal range object sets the voltage or current range that the channel expects at the input. The filter measured value object sets a filter on the measured value, raising or lowering the number of samples read. The user full scale object sets the scale of numerical values according to the analog signal. By default, the value is 32,767. If you want to enable full-scale modification, you must correctly set the analog input data format parameter at the EB80 head. Then set the desired value for user full scale. Analog input data format is also set via SDO communication. The manual contains all the necessary information. The code relating to the parameters just discussed is shown below. Let's now move on to the Analog Outputs Parameterization section. I initialize the parameters of a single analog output channel. The signal range object sets the voltage or current range that the channel outputs. The user full scale object sets the scale of numerical values sent by the control system, which are then converted into the analog output signal range. The minimum value monitor, maximum value monitor, minimum value and maximum value objects verify that the values received from the master are consistent with those set. Specifically, the first two objects enable monitoring. The last two objects set the values to be monitored. The failsafe object defines the behavior of the output in case of failed communication with the master. It must be enabled via another parameter related to the master indicated here. The fault mode object sets the analog value of the output if it is in failsafe status. The part of the code related to writing the parameters just discussed is shown. Let's now move on to the Temperature Inputs Parameterization section. The first two parameters apply to an entire 4-channel module, while the remaining ones apply to a single channel. The measure unit object sets the unit of measurement for the detected temperature. The noise rejection object manages the suppression of electrical noise generated by the power supply network. The sensor adjustment object sets the type of sensor used. The connection technology object sets the type of sensor connection. The junction compensation object manages the use of an external cold junction instead of the one already mounted internally. The measure resolution object sets the maximum resolution of the detected temperature, choosing between tenths or hundredths of a degree. The signal disconnecting sensor object decides whether or not to send an alarm in the event of a disconnected sensor. The signal short circuit object, if enabled, generates an alarm in the event of a short circuit. The monitor min, monitor max, min temp, and max temp objects manage an alarm in the event that the temperature falls outside a certain range. The first two objects enable this control. The last two set the threshold values. The filter measure value object manages a mathematical filter to make the temperature reading more or less stable. The acquisition filter object defines the type of digital filter. The code relating to the parameters just discussed is now shown. Let's now move on to the mapping of the analog signal modules. EB80 allows you to control up to 4 analog input modules, up to 4 analog output modules, and up to 4 temperature modules. Let's suppose we want to map a single channel for each module. Two bytes for the first output channel. 2 bytes for the first input channel. 2 bytes for the first temperature channel. By default, EB80 uses Intel logic, that is, it starts from the least significant byte. This setting can be changed using an SDO object. The EB80 Plus EtherCat manual, which can be downloaded from the website, contains all the information relating to addressing and assigning values to parameters, including the latter. All that remains is to transfer to the PLC from the project menu, Recompile Controller. Go online. Controller menu, transfer to controller. Great job! I hope you found this guide useful and clear. Thank you for watching this video with me.